Welcome to another episode of Java and Journeys with Jillian. If you're new here to this channel, what's up? How are you doing? My name is Jillian and thank you for joining me again on this exciting journey here at Universal Studios Florida. So y'all, I just finished my Walk and Talk Wednesday, so check out that live stream. It has literally been so dark and ominous. So right as we were coming into Universal, we are in hurricane season. I mentioned this in my live stream. And so we get these crazy torrential downpours every day on a daily. And sometimes those downpours are accompanied by a lot of severe lightning, severe thunder. So y'all, you know, it's a great time to be in the state of Florida during hurricane season. What can I say? So now that it has calmed down, which it stopped now for about the past hour or so, I wanted to take you all along with me on this adventure as we are going to be going to Mythos. Y'all, I've been to Mythos before and it is self-proclaimed as one of the best restaurants in a theme park. It's really good. Is it the absolute best? I don't know. I haven't had enough of the food there to make that kind of proclamation, especially y'all when we have great food options at Disney, not Magic Kingdom. You heard what I said, and if you have listened and watched my past live streams or just my long form content on my channel, you know how I feel about the food at Magic Kingdom at Disney. It is very hit or miss, but I would say definitely Mythos far surpasses most of the options at Magic Kingdom, and even I would say some of the options at Disney, but overall, it is a solid place. So I'm looking forward to going back there, trying some good eats. We'll see if they have a coffee cocktail that we can try out. And before we actually get to the restaurant, we're just going to take a look and walk around. We are actually at the Universal Studios side. For Mythos, we're going to wander over to the Islands of Adventure side to check it out. And fortunately, because Universal is open on the later side tonight, I wanted to just, you know, check in with you all and take you all along on this adventure. Now, to this point, and y'all don't kill me, don't kill a Heffas here. They have for pass holders a 60% off pop-up store right now. So we just left there and I am so sorry y'all that I missed taking you all along with me for that. But to be honest with you, a lot of the items that they had there, I did get some good finds. So I'll show you what that looks like when I get home. I'll take a quick picture, pop it up here so that way you see what I purchased. But a lot of the items that were in the 60% off store, I was like, okay, it's very clear to me why these things are 60% off because it's truly the leftover of the leftover. But we did find some really cool Harry Potter merch, and you all know the Harry Potter merch is not cheap, so the fact that I was able to get some things for 60% off, I am excited. Now, before we head over to Islands of Adventure, y'all, look at Rip Ride Rockit, and you see how dark and ominous it is, y'all. It has been, like I said, lightning for a while now. So though the rain has stopped, the lightning is still like in full effect. And so they have actually closed the ride just for right now. I don't know if they're going to open it back up this evening, but y'all, this ride is going bye-bye. So if you are coming to Universal, I mentioned this on my live stream before August 18th, try to get your last rides on Rip Ride Rockit because it is going to be shut down after August 18th. So check it out. And if you want some merch to commemorate Rip Ride Rockit, right across from the coaster, they have like a merch store. You see the Farewell Tour 2025, but they have some options there. My co-producer, aka husband, actually just picked up a magnet that looks pretty awesome. So he, of course, is a roller coaster enthusiast, is a little bit bummed to see it go, but of course, we're always looking forward to what is going to be replaced, especially as our favorite theme parks evolve, especially Disney. Like a lot of things are closing up. Recently, we were just enjoying the Muppet Land because that is officially closed. You all know we went to Dinosaur Land USA or Dino Land USA, and that is shut down. So, you know, these theme parks are evolving to constantly give us something new, fresh, fun, exciting. So it'll be interesting to see what they end up replacing over at Rip Ride Rockit. Hopefully something that's equally as fun. I have not been on Rip Ride Rockit because you all know your girl is prone to motion sickness, and so intense roller coasters are pretty much a no-no for me, although my husband's like, you're gonna do it, right? You're gonna do it before it closes. We'll see. Maybe if I take enough like motion sickness tablets, I can like let it go and mentally get myself right. But y'all, look around. Like I said, it is dark and ominous. You just saw that lightning, right? That's literally how it's been. So things are pretty much all quiet on the western front here. But y'all, I am hungry. Let's go ahead and head over to Mythos. So as we're walking over to Mythos, my co-producer, all things knowing when it comes to theme parks, was saying that, so I was just talking about how Rip Ride Rocket is going to be closing after August 18th, and people are trying to speculate what's going to go there. It's going to likely be another roller coaster, but what's the theme, right? So this restoration of the historic Engine 89 Firehouse sign is right up against the wall that they're starting to put around the area that is adjacent to Rip Ride Rocket. You all see part of the track right there. And do you all see a Ghostbusters reference in here? Because he said that people are speculating it's going to be a Ghostbusters thing because this sign is supposed to be like some sort of Easter egg. Y'all, it's been a long time since I've seen Ghostbusters, so if you know what that Easter egg is, drop down in the comments, let me know. Is that a reference at all or tied to Ghostbusters? I'm really curious. And y'all, this is like why I was telling my co-producer, I'm like, this is why I need for you all to sometimes stay with me when I'm on my walk and talks. I feel so embarrassed. So those of you all that hang tight with me on my walk and talks, please forgive your girl if she seems a little absent-minded. So my first walk and talk here at Universal, my sister Whitney was telling me, she was like, hey, in the chat, people were asking you to like go into, I don't know if it was the Wicked store, but one of the stores. I completely missed that, right? Felt a little bit bad about that. So I said in my walk and talk, I'm like, hey, listen, if anyone wants me to go into a store, if you want me to check something out, your girl can oblige that. Like, let's make it happen. Well, so one of my viewers was asking about like a PopSmart store where they have like the Funko Pops. I've never heard of PopSmart stores. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't think there's one here in Universal. I was correct about that. But I was like, I think they do sell the pop figurines or the Funko Pops, AKA, in some of these shops here. I just wasn't aware because y'all, it's been a while since I've actually walked into some of the merch shops here at Universal. And of course, I get off the live stream. We're, you know, just chilling and hanging out. We walk into one of the stores and I see a lot of the Funko Pops. Now they're a Care Bear theme and I felt so bad. And I'm like, oh my gosh, had I known that they had these Funko Pops, I totally would have walked into the store so I could show the viewer. It's not a PopSmart store. In the area where these Funko Pops are located, if you're like a big fan of Care Bears, is actually over by the store where they typically have some of the Monsters merch. So across from the Bourne Experience, over like in that area. So if you were someone, and if you are my viewer who is tuning in that was asking about the Funko Pops, they do sell them in that store, and they may sell them at some of the other merch stores here at Universal. That's the thing that's so interesting, is that all of these shops here have like their own unique flair in terms of things that they sell. So I felt so bad. And Whitney, what was the name of that character? So also, I found out about this Labubu character when we were in Chicago. We were in like one of these stores over in Chinatown looking around, and it was like, oh, that's a Labubu thing. I thought she was just like razzing me. Like I was like, oh, that's not a name. And she was like, no, that is. She's like, it's a character, it's popular. And I'm like, I have never heard of this character, y'all. I'm old as hell apparently. So let me show you all the view as we're walking over to Mythos. We're actually going to take the train in Harry Potter over to Islands of Adventure. So y'all know I'm going to take you all with me. So I'm super excited to show y'all what that looks like at night. But y'all, someone asked me about that, but I didn't know how to pronounce the word because it's not common that you see Labobo.
What's a word you pronounced incorrectly one time and it still haunts you to this day?
Compromise. Compromise.
And I was like, what the heck is that? And I was like, oh, I'm not sure about that. Which I don't know that they have that character featured in any of the merch stores. So drop down in the comments if you're someone who is very well versed in what merch is available at Universal currently right now. Do they have the Labobo character featured anywhere, right? It wouldn't shock me if some store has something, but I just wasn't familiar. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't think so. But I didn't know how to pronounce the word because I don't really commonly see Labobo, and I'm just recently learning about this character. So y'all, pray for your girl. We live, you know, you live and you learn, right? We're gonna always do our best here, and I am not perfect. So y'all, I'll tell you what, like I am unabashedly, I am who I am, and I am not afraid to say when I don't know something or something's unfamiliar to me. So, you know, y'all help me out. This is why you need to join me on my walk and talks. And I was telling my co-producer, I'm like, this is why I need you and my sister with me when I do these walk and talks to monitor my chat. Because if someone asks me a question, I'm like, I don't know. Where are my people? My people are out living their best life. And while I'm doing my walk and talks, connecting with you all, they're just off doing their own thing. And I'm just like selfish. You see how your family can be so selfish right now. They prioritize their joy and happiness over your own. But real talk, which like, this is why like I love when they are around me though, especially my co-producer, because he knows, he has so much of that knowledge of different things. And I was just like, and like my sister was one who told me, y'all, I did not even know that Universal had a 60% off store right now for pass holders. And so y'all, we're actually coming up to King's Cross right now. So I'm gonna keep chatting with you all as we're making our way through to the train station. But y'all, I'm like, I had no idea that this 60% off store even existed. And when it was like, why didn't you film that? Because I am a trifling Heffa. All right, Heffa Nation, this is why we're in this together. But I promise you all, you're not missing out on a lot. So the next time I come to Universal, and the merch is probably gonna be even more depleted, but the next time I find myself here, I will definitely take you all, if the 60% off store still exists, I'll take you all over there, because had I had my camera, I could have shown that and the Funko Pops. We're on the struggle bus of life, it's okay. This is why, because we're on the struggle bus, we're gonna trade the bus for the train, head on into King's Cross, and take a ride over to Islands of Adventure. Y'all, let's head on in. And we have Express, so I don't imagine that we're gonna be waiting very long, but you never know. So which is it?
You said it correct. You said Labubu.
Oh, it's a Labubu.
The second time you said Labubu.
Okay, my sister's trying to educate me. So apparently I was saying Labobo, which is called Labubu, not Labobo. Y'all, this little creature thing, again, pray for me, okay? Labubu. Are you all fans of the Labubu character? If you are, let me know. I guess this is something that the kids love now. It's the rage. I think the thing is so bizarre and strange, but maybe that's why kids love it, because it's so different and unique. Y'all, look at what this queue would look like if it was filled up. Now, we have been here before when it's busy. Even with the Express Pass, there was still like a lengthy wait. So I am thankful that we have like that Express after, I want to say it's like 4 o'clock. And we could just kind of bypass. Granted, it's not busy right now because of how bad the weather was. But can you imagine this whole thing being filled up? You already know. We're gonna try to be careful going up these stairs.
Last time we were like here. Wasn't it down here?
All right, y'all, I'm going through platform 9 3/4. It's not as majestical as the flute powder effect on the Metro at the Battle at the Ministry of Magic, but still cool nonetheless. There's a mirror effect where it looks like you're disappearing into it. It was hard for me to capture. I actually don't even think the effect was on right now. But y'all, look at our train over to Hogsmeade. Oh, we have our favorite owl. So cute. I absolutely think that this station is so amazing. And especially if you're ever able to capture some footage as the train is rolling in, it's quite special. And y'all, you'll notice that when the train is coming through, it comes in backwards to low and then pulls forward when it's going over to Islands of Adventure. So y'all, we are about to board, and thankfully we were able to catch this next ride with not too long of a wait. Let's head over to Islands. Friends, we have just made it over to Islands, and we have exited off of our train ride, which was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed some of that footage. I wanted to be respectful because there was also another family that we were sharing the cart with, so just wanted to be careful to not feel that they were being recorded without permission. So try to be mindful of the space, but I hope you did enjoy that little ride. And it's always a fun one, especially when you have a little bit of time to kill and you're able to get on the train. And I love the effects, especially with the screens. I feel like Universal is really good about understanding how to utilize screens within their rides, and sometimes it can be overdone. Like in my opinion, I think Ministry of Magic, and drop down in the comments if you've written the Battle of the Ministry of Magic at Epic Universe. I don't really care for that one because I feel like it's an over-reliance on the screen, but still cool effects on that ride. Where I feel like in terms of Epic Universe, they did an excellent job with it is on the Monsters Unchained ride. That's my favorite ride at Epic Universe. And then I also really like Mario Kart. Y'all, I cannot wait to go back to Epic, but unfortunately that won't be happening until they get a season pass, or unless they offer up day passes to residents at a massive discount, because I don't want to keep paying by day. Like, that's crazy. So yeah, we are now heading over to Mythos. And y'all, if you have not been to Islands of Adventure and seen Hogsmeade at night, it is so cool. It just feels majestic and magical. And again, props to the Universal staff that was able to pull that together. And y'all, it's starting to rain. All right, y'all, you see this rain? Oh, y'all, this is intense. I tell you what, I said this in my little snippet and I'll say it again. Hurricane season in Florida is not great. Even if you live in Central Florida, not that I'm trying to compare Central Florida to the coastal cities. I don't know how you all do it. Those of you all that live in a coastal city, I just don't know how. Like, right now we're very early on in hurricane season, but y'all, this is the daily rainstorms, the severe thunder and lightning. And I used to love thunderstorms growing up as a kid, and I still have an affinity for them. But y'all, it's just crazy. Oh, y'all, look, my sister pointed this out. There's a All Hallows Eve boutique. Okay, hopefully we'll be able to catch that. But we got to get out of this rain and get to Mythos. They actually said that they could take us a little bit earlier than our reservation. y'all, which is rare. Like typically Mythos is booked out, but because of how the weather's been, it's just, you see the lightning, it's just crazy. So I tried to tuck some of my hair into my jacket, and we're just gonna keep it moving. But yeah, that's why I feel so empty right now, because of this weather. And I'll say this to you all, like, make sure when you're coming to Florida during hurricane season, like basically roughly toward the end of May through to, I would say, early October, always bring a poncho. Even if you look at the weather and the reports are like, no rain, it doesn't matter. Stuff can change on a dime here in Florida so quickly, and you do not want to be drenched. Because as I've said, and you all know how I roll, Universal and Disney, they're not afraid to take those coins when you forget your jacket or your ponchos and you're in desperate need of something to help cover everything up. Y'all, we just arrived to Mythos. Super excited to go back in. Let's have some dinner, y'all, and get out of this rain and dry off a little bit. Thank you. Friends, we are seated and check out the view. We could see the Hulk over here, and then as well you have Popeye's boat. So especially this was during the daytime, you would have a clearer view, but this is still to me really nice. And Mythos is such a beautiful restaurant, and I love the theming to give you that, you know, majestic feeling. But will the menu give us those same vibes? Let's take a look. Let's start out with the drinks first. So you all see, and all the drinks are themed to some mythical characters, of course. And then they have, like, you know, the standard issue non-alcoholic drinks and draft beer. So I'm going to take a look at this and figure out what to get. And are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Y'all already know it's Java and Journey, so we're definitely going to get into this espresso martini because we got to do what we got to make it do. But if I wasn't getting an espresso martini, I think something else that's interesting, y'all, I love me an old fashioned. They have also this Mythos cucumber martini that looks really good. I as well love a good sangria, so I mean really most of these look delicious. And y'all, check out the food. So like I said, this is my second time coming to Mythos, and y'all, the last time I was here I got the charred octopus. I am getting that again. It is so good. So we'll see if the second time is also consistent with the first experience. We have our soup and salads here, our main entrees, and I think I had gotten the brick oven roasted chicken. Like I said, everything I had gotten the last time we were here was delicious. Y'all, and I know this is the kid in me, but look at this fork, knife, and spoon grilled cheese. It has pork belly, classic grilled cheese, house-made chips. I don't know, that is like speaking to me. It's a little chilly in here, especially like coming in from the rain. I don't know. What do y'all think I should get? I'm going to continue to peruse the menu and give it some thought. We just ordered our food, y'all. I finally made up my mind. So I'm going to do the grilled cheese sandwich, but as a starter, we're also going to do the semolina crusted calamari as well as that spice charred octopus. I cannot wait to try those. My sister ended up going with the burger, and my co-producer, aka husband, went with the lamb burger. So all of this is going to be really good, and our cocktails have just arrived. So you all see this delicious espresso martini, and this is quite different for me because I'm so used to the espresso martinis being quite darker in color. This is definitely the creamiest looking espresso martini I've seen. So I cannot wait to get this. And my co-producer got the River Styx cocktail. This is a vodka based drink with assorted ingredients, so you all check out the menu, but it has a cucumber essence. So this is definitely one that feels like it's going to give you the summertime vibes. So you all know how we like to do things here at Java and Journeys. Thank you so much for joining me on this rainy adventure here at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. Cheers. Let's get into this espresso martini. Y'all, that is delicious. It is heavy on the Baileys, and I love me some Baileys, and that's exactly what's giving it that creamy color. So I think if you're someone who likes your espresso martini a little bit on the creamier, sweeter side, this one is definitely for you. To all my Baileys girls out there. My co-producer has graciously allowed me to try his River Styx cocktail. And y'all, peep out the detail of the sugar cane as kind of like your stir. And let's see, that focus is coming a little bit in and out here. And I thought initially that was a straw. That's literally just for you to stir your drink, as it has like the straw here on the side. Cheers. Oh wow, y'all, that is delicious. So again, vodka-based cocktail. It has the cucumber essence, and it's definitely a strong melon taste. If you are not a fan of melon, you are not gonna like that cocktail, and now it makes sense considering the color of the drink. So definitely, to me, I actually think I almost like his drink better than mine, only because, you know, mine is an espresso martini. I love me some Java. It's a great martini, but that drink is truly an embodiment of the summer, and definitely something where if you want something that is not heavy, like alcoholic, has great balance, and gives you the summertime vibes, River Styx is certainly going to be calling your name. So take a ride down the River Styx. Get into these appetizers. Here we have our spice seared octopus, which looks so good. And y'all, I'm a huge fan of octopus, especially when it's cooked right. This is the most bougie thing you're gonna hear me say in this whole video, but nothing is worse than when you have octopus and it's chewy and rubbery because it wasn't cooked properly. So I cannot wait to try this again, especially to see if they actually are going to be consistent. But like the way this looks, it gives me a lot of hope. And then here's our semolina crusted calamari. And this also looks delicious, so I'm definitely planning on taking that charred lemon and just squeezing that all over the calamari just to try that. I will keep y'all posted on how both of these taste. Take a closer look of this octopus. So delicious. It looks like it's charred to perfection. Let's see how it tastes. Y'all, that is so good, the flavor. It doesn't taste fishy. It tastes like nicely cooked seafood coming right off the grill. It's a little bit on the cheerier side. My co-producer actually just pointed that out, and I agree with it. But not to the extent where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so chewy that it's overcooked. And then with our octopus, we also have these fingerling potatoes that also look perfectly cooked. I was able to use my fork, slice right into it, so that tells me that's cooked well. So good. And I will tell you all, the only thing that is like not a complete miss for me I just don't remember this about this dish, the puree here. It gives me like tartar sauce vibes. And honestly, I could do without it. I believe it's like an aioli. For me personally, I would like the aioli to be off the plate because it's a little sweet. It gives me a tartar sauce vibe. But y'all, that octopus is delicious. Now, I've already squeezed some lemon into our calamari. You see it here. And the thing that I cannot stand, that some restaurants tend to do with calamari, overcook it. That's really the hardship about seafood, right? Some places tend to overcook the seafood. Heck, even for me, when I am at home trying to cook seafood, I'm so intimidated by it because I always end up overcooking it. But I also hate when calamari has that fishy taste because it's old, or when it tastes like it's frozen. This is flash fried, so let's see. It's really good. I'm also going to try some of the puree that was serving as the bed for our calamari. The puree definitely has that lemon aioli taste to it. Again, honestly, I could have the puree just on the side and just eat this calamari as is. Y'all, I'm not mad about it. This is so good. So I highly recommend both these. If I had to pick between one of the two, if you were like, just one appetizer, please, I probably would go with the charred octopus. But depending on your, I think, interest and like of like tartar sauce, if you're not into like a tartar sauce more flavored puree, I probably would skip the sauce, ask them to just put it on the side. Y'all, the seafood restaurants, I should more appropriately say, the restaurants that serve seafood here in Universal, top notch. Like, I'm not afraid to eat seafood from the sit-down restaurants here. So good. This sandwich looks so good. Peep out, y'all, this tomato soup, my grilled cheese sandwich. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. It has that pork belly at the top. I cannot wait to get into this. I actually was expecting for the pork belly to be a garnish on top of the soup, but our waitress did ask me like, hey, do you want this sandwich to be in the soup? So I'm not sure the traditional presentation, but I just asked for it to be on the side just so it doesn't get too soggy. And then of course, I told you all that my sister got the burger, of course, that has cheese and bacon. And then my co-producer got the lamb burger. Let's go ahead and dig in. Peep out the cheese pool. Yes, I cannot wait to get this, y'all. And on a night like tonight, I feel like we need a little comfort. And what's more comforting than a grilled cheese sandwich and some tomato soup? And check out the inside of this sandwich, y'all. And it's made with 3 cheeses. Let's see how good this is. So good. And y'all, standard grilled cheese sandwich, but the bread is crispy, cooked well, buttery. The cheese doesn't taste like it came from like a Kraft Singles package. No shade to Kraft Singles, but I'm not about that life. I'm just going to be real. And also, I just appreciate a quality cheese. And I actually talked about this in, I want to say, one of my Costco hauls when it comes to cheese. And something that I recently discovered is that when we cook like casseroles or anything that's cheese heavy, we're now starting to shift over from, instead of the pre-shredded cheese, buying the blocks and shredding it ourselves, because y'all, it really changes how your food tastes. Because of course, if you get the pre-shredded cheese, it kind of has like this coating on the outside to keep it from sticking. And so what I find is that when you grate your own cheese and you get a block, you get more of that cheese pool. You get better flavors because it's not coated. So y'all, I get it though. Like sometimes time is of the essence and you're like, I don't have time for all that. I just need to get my pre-shredded cheese. Do you, boo? But if you have a little bit of extra time, go ahead and get that block of cheese because you're gonna get the same results like this grilled cheese sandwich. Something that tastes so good. You get more of that cheese pool. Let's try our tomato soup. Here it is here. Y'all see that steam? Like nice and hot. The tomato soup tastes creamy. Let me just, show you all a little bit again. Look at that. Like, perfect thickness to me, not too watery. And I'll tell you all that sometimes with a lot of tomato soups, it can taste a little acidic, but this doesn't taste acidic at all. Really perfect for a night like tonight where it's rainy, a little bit chilly inside the restaurant because they crank up the AC here in Florida and a lot of the businesses that you'll go into. But that's delicious. Oh, and how can I forget? We have our pork belly here. And that's fine. Honestly, it's cooked a little too hard for me, so out of all the components on this dish, the pork belly I actually like least. I'm probably gonna just move that over to the side. Now I am happy I did not put that in the sandwich. It's not as juicy as I would like, but you definitely get that bacon flavor. So I feel like if you're a huge pork belly fan, I actually think that would taste better instead of on top of the sandwich in the soup. But like I said before, our waitress asked me if I would want to go ahead and have like everything in the soup. I want it on the side, so pick your poison and what works best for you. My co-producer wanted me to show you all these bougie salt and pepper shakers. Look at how much fun these are. And you just like, of course, grind your salt and pepper from the top. But these look so cool. So again, it's like, it's always little things, right? Now, if you were to ask me, like I was telling you the difference between getting the block cheese and the shredded cheese, what's better? Your salt and pepper that's already ground or grinding it yourself? I'm not that bougie yet. So I'll get back in touch with you all when I get the answer to that question on which is better. But I will say, I think fresh cracked pepper does taste a little bit different than when you get the pepper that's already, like in a typical shaker. I feel like fresh cracked pepper has more of that pepper flavor. But honestly, again, do you? I'm not bougie enough to give you all like a clear answer on like when it comes to the differences between different types of salts and peppers. So jump down in the comments, let me know. Do you all have a preference when it comes to your cheese? Do you like your cheese pre-shredded, already in a block? How do you hook up your cheese? And when it comes to salt and pepper, are there different types of salts that you all actually recommend that you season your food with? I know a lot of people use Himalaya salt and pink salts and all different types of salts, and I honestly don't really understand the differences in all of them. So if you are someone who's bougie, or forget being bougie, but you just know like your seasonings like that, let me know. Holler at your girl, because I'm always like looking to try different things, especially my co-producer and sister do a lot more of the cooking around the house. So for them, especially my sister, she always likes trying different types of seasonings. Friends, we are heading out of Mythos, and let me show you all what the restaurant looks like. I think we're like the last people out of here, so it is time to go. And your girl is, I feel like I'm in a perpetual state of fading because I just get so exhausted, especially at the end of the day. But y'all, isn't this so pretty? And again, I just love like that Grecian, mythic, God's feeling that, or not feeling, but theme that circled throughout the restaurant. So definitely delicious, a fun experience, and check out the fountain here. It's just so awesome. So Mythos, definitely A+ for the theme here. Love the mermaid. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and head on out, and we'll talk a little bit about the overall experience. And here's a little bit of the outside of Mythos. And again, you see it here. And it just looks really cool. And so second visit to Mythos, I really liked it. And it was truly enjoyable. And my co-producer was joking about this, and he was like, is it the best restaurant in a theme park? It's really good. Well, let me take off these glasses. Whew. It's certainly really good. The best? I don't know about it being the best, but certainly it's a contender for some of the better restaurants to eat at. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I know, but
And y'all, if you happen to see security, like this is very, I don't even know that I pointed this out. The last time when we ate here at Universal, when we were at Lombard's, and oh, y'all look, it's the Dr. Seuss train. I really like the Dr. Seuss area. This is very fun and whimsical. So I'll show you all a little bit about what this looks like as we're on our way out the park. But when we were leaving Lombard's, you may have noticed that there was like security behind me. And I was like, I didn't even tell you all why that is, because you may be like, oh my God, why are they following her? And y'all, this is totally normal. Anytime Universal's closing, they have actually security at certain points in the park. And so when you're like some of the last people to leave, like we are, they just want to make sure that you're not going to, you know, roam around when it's time to go. But y'all, look at like part of the Dr. Seuss ride over here. And this one is so cute. I love the trolley train ride because it gives you quite a beautiful scenic view of the Dr. Seuss land. It basically takes you around and it is a lot of fun. I think I like that one a little bit better than Cat in the Hat. Cat in the Hat, y'all, is a trippy ride. It definitely needs some refurbishment and some updates. But y'all, this is wild, being like the last people to leave. I actually love it because I can show you all a bit more. Now, granted, I can't like stop too long because security's like, listen, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck out of here. But yeah, so it's just very common for security to be at certain areas because they're just trying to make sure to clear everyone out of the park. So I assure you all, it's all good. Your girl is not getting incarcerated today. So in terms of Mythos, like I said, is it like the best restaurant? I think it's one of the top restaurants to eat at. I actually may have liked Lombard's a little bit better, but it all depends on what you order, right? When it comes to these restaurants and what you like to eat and what you enjoy. And y'all, I'm sorry, it's like I am all over the place here, but I gotta show you the sights. Here is the Cat in the Hat ride here. Pretty cool, right? And then if you want like some treats, they have the cat hats and things that has like your treats, has your merch. So again, I actually like the Dr. Seuss area better than Simpsons. I love the theming of Simpsons, but I feel like the rides here in the Dr. Seuss area are a bit more enjoyable, y'all. And I just love a good nighttime view. Like, y'all, check this out. This is just awesome. Like, if Universal ever had like a night run, I would totally pay money to run through this park or jog. Let's be real, your girl's not running. I could do a little jog and walk combination. But yes, I would be doing my power walking through here like it's nobody's business because it's so pretty. Thank you. And so gorgeous, and especially Epic Universe, y'all. Epic Universe is gorgeous at night. But I love a good evening theme park stroll. And especially since Universal stayed open later this evening, y'all, they actually were open until 10 p.m., which is nice. And again, because we're now fully into the summer, they're getting into their summer hours now. So it makes it a lot easier for me to come out here when I'm done at the end of a work day versus trying to scramble and then having to start my workday significantly earlier to make sure that I'm still getting in all my hours, right? So yeah, look at the Hulk. So remember, we had a great view of the Hulk outside of Mythos. Never been on it. It's a little bit of a rough roller coaster ride, but again, so gorgeous. And then straight ahead is like the Marvel, and I should say like the Marvel comic area, not like Marvel Disney. I mean, it's the same thing, but in terms of artistic style, a bit different. But yeah, y'all, the next time you find yourself here, go to Mythos, try it out. Go to Lombard's. Those are two very good restaurants here at Universal. And of course, Lombard's being at Universal Studios, Mythos being at Islands of Adventure. And I'm certainly looking forward to trying more restaurants. So if you all have any recommendations of places, if you're like, girl, you got to try this place out, even if it's quick service. I'm not above a good quick service restaurant. So drop down in the comments, let me know. Y'all, thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm so happy it is not raining on our way out. And y'all, as soon as I get home, your girl is showering. Pause. Let me tell you all a quick story. You're like, girl, you are never going to get out of here. I promise you, I'm going to wrap this up. My sister was telling me that during the end of one of our park days at Disney's recently, she was on the tram to head back to the car because my co-producer and I decided to hop on Rock and Roller Coaster. And she was like, yeah, I'm a little bit tired. I'm just going to go back to the car. And she was saying that there was a family on the tram, and the mom was telling her boys, like, okay, y'all, it's been a long day. So, when we get back to the hotel, you need to grab a shower because we have another long day tomorrow. And the kids were like, no, because since we're going to the water park, we don't need to shower because we're just going to be in water tomorrow anyway. And y'all, what do you think the mom said? What do you think? I'll let you take a wild guess. I'll wait. She actually, from my sister's perspective, she said that, oh, it's okay. You all don't have to shower. Y'all know how I feel. I have talked about this in my videos. Listen, I guess that we just didn't get out of a pandemic. I guess germs don't exist. Y'all, Heffas, don't make me come after you, because I will bop you upside the head. If you are at a theme park, I don't care that you only come to the theme park for a couple of good hours. If you don't get some soap and water and clean that butt, you have been around people, it's hot, you better listen. I'm telling you, y'all, don't play yourself. I'm not trying to get sick. So I do not care if I set foot in a theme park or any crowded place for just a little bit. I am showering. We don't have time for games. I don't have time for that, and I hope you don't either. Don't let me have to kick you out of Heffa Nation, okay? Do better. Don't be sorry, ho. Be careful, okay? Y'all, with that being said, what did we learn today? Well, we learned that it is full-fledged hurricane season now in Florida. Expect tropic storms, okay? I've already warned you. You've been warned. So you better make sure to have your coins up so you can buy a poncho or a jacket to make it through. You come here ill-prepared. We also learned that your girl is tongue-tied. She can't remember how to pronounce anything. She also can't remember what accessories are in the Universal store. Y'all, just pray for me. I'm trying. That's why you gotta like, subscribe, and share. Because if I could spend more time in these parks and more time in these experiences, I could be a bit more thorough, okay? So do that. Help your girl. We're on the road to 10K subscribers, all right? Y'all, thank you so much for your support. You know, I adore you, Heffa Nation. And I will catch you on the next journey. Have a good one. Bye.